The 5th episode of the 26th season has concluded, and I'm going to be reviewing that episode today on this episode of the Simpsons Episode Reviews.
Why me?
Hello everybody, and welcome to the new episode of the Simpsons Episode Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 5th episode of the 26th season, and it is the 557th episode of The Simpsons. And the episode is called Opposites of Frack, and this aired, of course, on November 2nd, 2014. Now the episode is all about Mr. Burns running a frack operation, and Maxine Lombard is out to stop Mr. Burns' plans. As the episode goes along, Mr. Burns and Maxine Lombard actually fall in love. Now I'm going to talk about the full story, but before I do, if you have not seen the episode, you can do two things. One, you can wait to see this, and once you're done watching that particular episode, then you can come back here and watch this review. Or you can look down below in the description for where the spoiler ends, and you can go to that part basically by clicking on that part of the video manually. Now the story begins where Patty and Selma have to move into the Simpsons house because their apartment is being worked on. And they're allowed to live there, but only on one condition. They're not allowed to smoke because of the children. So what Patty and Selma try to do is they try to do certain things. They even try electronic cigarettes. However, they don't like the electronic cigarettes, so they decide to actually smoke in the bathroom downstairs. And guess what happens? It explodes, and Patty and Selma are banned from the Simpsons house as a result. But as a result of the bathroom exploding, the Simpsons actually find out that the water actually caused the explosion, and the water turns out to be flammable. And it's a result of fracking. And Bart and Lisa actually investigate where the fracking is coming from. And they find out that Burns is behind it. And once Lisa finds out that Mr. Burns is behind it, she calls in Maxine Lombard to try to stop Burns' operation. And to Lisa's avail, or to Lisa's effort, I should say, Maxine Lombard actually stops Mr. Burns' fracking operation, and Mr. Burns is actually forced to shut down his fracking machine. However, Mr. Burns finds Maxine Lombard attractive, and Maxine Lombard and Mr. Burns actually fall in love as the first act ends. Act 2 begins with Mr. Burns and Maxine Lombard still in love, and they're in a relationship with each other. However, Mr. Burns is still not happy that his fracking operation got stopped by Maxine Lombard. So he actually tries to get his operation back going with the help of Homer Simpson. So Homer Simpson tries to get people to sign these papers so that way Mr. Burns can continue, or should I say, recontinue his fracking operations. And almost everybody signs, except for one person. And the person that didn't sign is Marge Simpson. And that basically stops Mr. Burns' fracking operation from ever becoming reality again. And Mr. Burns becomes very unhappy that he decides to end his relationship with Maxine Lombard. And Homer Simpson doesn't become happy with his wife Marge. And that's basically where Act 2 ends. Act 3 starts with Mr. Burns and Maxine Lombard fighting with each other, and Maxine Lombard actually tries to destroy Mr. Burns' mansion. So Mr. Burns takes the law into his own hands with the help of Homer Simpson and reoperates his fracking machine. And he ends up turning it up too high. And as a result, it causes an earthquake, and it gets the attention of the rest of the Simpsons family. So the rest of the Simpsons family actually goes to the spot where Mr. Burns and Homer are at, and Marge tries to tell Homer what happened in the bathroom. And Homer realizes that the fracking machine is just a whole lot of trouble and actually destroys it. And what happens next is Mr. Burns and Maxine Lombard actually fall in love again. And that's how the episode ends. Now I'm going to talk about the best moments. I did like that Penny and Selma were smoking in the bathroom and it exploded. I thought that was pretty cool. My other favorite part was in Act 2, where Homer Simpson was trying to encourage people to sign the papers. And it turned out to be very funny that he goes to different places and talking about what fracking does. I thought that was pretty funny too. I thought that was actually the best part of the episode, where Homer Simpson was talking to different people about fracking and turning up different funny things about fracking, which was kind of cool. And I thought that was really good. I think that was, like I said, I thought that was the best part of the episode. Now there were other funny moments from Act 1 that I really liked. I just can't explain them at this time. Maybe in the near future. But that's pretty much it for the best moments of this episode. Now on with the review. Now, even though there were so funny moments in the first two acts, I was actually disappointed, because after the Homer Simpson scene where he's talking about fracking to other people in such funny ways, that's where the humor in this episode ends. And after that we would just get lame jokes. Including in Act 3, there wasn't hardly a single joke that I laughed at. Especially the one at the end. I thought that was stupid. And I felt that if the jokes would have been better, I would have been a lot happier. Because the thing about it, there were a ton of funny jokes in the last episode that I reviewed. But this one didn't have as much as the last episode did. And I felt disappointed. So as a result, I have to give this episode, in terms of humor, 2.5 stars out of 4. But that's only for the humor. I'm going to talk about the story now. The story is actually good. And I liked the relationship between Maxine and Mr. Burns. I thought that was great. And even though I really feel that the story could have been better, I still like the story. And that's what keeps the episode from being a bad episode. because the story actually is the best part of the episode, in my opinion, besides the humor, of course. There were funny jokes in this episode that I really liked. And I especially liked the one with Homer Simpson talking about fracking. However, the story is what keeps this episode from being a bad episode. So I have to give Opposite of Frack 3 stars out of 4. Now, even though I am recommending this episode, it could have been a lot better. I feel that if there would have been more jokes that would have been funny, and the story could have been a little better, a little more better, I bet you the episode would have been one of my favorites, because I did like some of the humor in the first act and some in the second act. It's just the third act basically disappointed me, unfortunately. But I still like the episode for the story mainly, and I still recommend it. So if you have not seen the episode, or if you want to see the episode again that I actually reviewed, there is a Simpsons World app that you can check out, and if you have access to full episodes, you'll be able to watch the episode that I reviewed along with the rest of the episodes that originally aired and have aired so far. So definitely check out the Simpsons World app. You can also watch the episode that I reviewed on Hulu Plus and a week later on Hulu. So that is basically all I have to say. That has been my review of Opposites of Frack. Next time on the Simpsons Episode Reviews, I'm going to be reviewing the Simpsons Futurama crossover, Simpsonrama. And that will be for next time. So peace out. Thanks for watching, Simpsons fans. Bye for now.